Hi, so now we're going to take a look at another example of how to determine if you have a good value bet or not on the river. Remember, you need to beat more than 50% of villain's calling range in order to have a value bet. And now we're going to check it out how you can construct his ranges little by little until you get to a tipping point or an inflection point or a breaking point or whatever you want to call it, to the point where you start having a profitable value bet. So how does that look in practice? Well, let's just take a look at the hand. It's a pretty straightforward hand. We free bet, get called, and we make a couple of C bets, and then we are faced on the river with a situation, with a question rather, do we have a profitable value jam or not? So how do we approach this spot? Well, again, you need to first determine the ranges of the villain with which he's going to call you with. And this time we're going to approach it like step by step. So let's open Equilab. So here we have the board and our hand. And now the next step is basically just to start giving villain some reasonable hands with which he can call your bet. So we're going to start at the most obvious hands, and that's going to be the value hands. Okay, let's just go. Let's say he will call us with first with the sets. Okay, that's the obvious. So obviously he's going to call us with the sets. Let's say he will call us with some two-pair combos, like Queen Jack and Queen Jack suited, and let's just say he also has Queen 6 and Queen 4 suited. That's reasonable. Jack 6, and maybe he calls Jack 4 suited to the free bet. Let's say the next hand that he's gonna call is perhaps he floated with some sort of Ace Queen and a King Queen. I mean, it's possible, so let's just say that he's gonna call us with that. What's gonna be the next one? Let's say maybe sometimes he slow plays pre-flop, or maybe he's passive and he doesn't 4-bet jacks. So we give him that. Could be the same for queens, but let's just say not, or for aces or kings. But you know, that's up to you to decide how you think he would play certain hands. This is, you know, it's not about, it's not a debate about ranges right now. It's just about showing the step-by-step methodology. So obviously, it's going to depend on your games. This is a heads-up example. If you play 6-max, it's going to be different. It's going to depend also on the action before the river. But all that doesn't matter. The process is always the same. You just have to start from the top, and you keep expanding his ranges until you get to the point where you have a value bet mathematically. And then you can take another look at the range and you can say to yourself, does this look reasonable or not? So let's just continue the process. So right now we have basically pretty much all the reasonable two-pair combos. Let's just also give him, let's say, 6-9 suited. That can be reasonable. Jack-9 suited can be reasonable. Queen-9 suited. Well, he probably doesn't call that on the flop unless he has some sort of a backdoor flush draw. So let's just not leave it. I mean, and let's take a look at it right now. I mean, obviously, we don't have to even... actually, yeah, we did put some one-pair combos. Okay, so right now, we don't have a value bet. So if he only calls us with top pair, with decent top pair, and better, we don't have a value bet. We should just check and pretty much fold. I mean, that's a different question, but that doesn't matter. So we don't have a value bet. So we need to expand his calling range. So we need him to call with some other stuff as well. So that's not even, I mean, let's not forget, we didn't even include the flushes, like backdoor flushes, which he's gonna have sometimes, but let's not make it difficult for this example. You can go ahead and, you know, add a few combos of backdoor flushes, like maybe Jack X of flush. I mean, that's completely reasonable. Actually, let's just quickly do it just to show you. So first you have to select the suit. And what's a reasonable Jack X flush? Well, obviously Ace Jack, King Jack, Jack 10. What else can be? Jack 8, Jack 7 suited, Jack 5 suited we have to give him because we give him Jack 4 suited, so to keep logically consistent. So that's basically the Jack X flushes. Let's say some 4X flushes, 5-4, 6-4. 7-4 is almost like stretching it, but let's just give it anyway. And now we select hearts, basically. So okay, now we gave him also the flushes, which means our equity will go drastically down. So like 5%, I mean drastically. He doesn't have that many combos, okay? So now we have like basically the stronger hands of his range. And we have to start adding a few more hands. We're only at 30%. If we want to get to 50, 51 to have a value bet, he needs to call us with a lot more hands than this. So let's give him, for example, I mean, it's hard to see any other queens that he might have. So let's just start giving him some good jacks, basically. Let's give him ace-jack and all the ace-jack suiteds. And let's see, is this enough? We apply it, evaluate. Well, 42, I mean, we made a big step towards it, but it's still not enough. I mean, in fact, it's not even close. So let's continue and let's give him another jack combo. This is king-jack, and let's just give him all the king-jack, so probably this is gonna take us very close. Another 10%? No, not really. I mean, we're still at like 46, so it's not enough even that. So what else can he call us with? I can't see any queen. I mean, we can give him some queen X with a backdoor flush draw. Let's say queen 10 spades of clubs, something like that. I mean, but then you also have to give him queen 9 maybe of the same. So let's not go there. I mean, this backdoor is gonna be a few combos here and there. Let's just keep it simple. So let's continue with the jack. So let's say king jack, and it's still not enough. So what about if he calls with jack 10 and all jack 10 suited? Okay, so this is the point. So right now we have a value bet, and if we exclude the jack 10s, then we don't have a value bet. So this is the point, the tipping point, the inflection point. This is the breaking point. Like, this changes everything. Now, if you think that this guy is the sort of guy that will call you here with jack 10, even though it's a pretty connected board and overcards came and so on, if he's still gonna call you with jack 10, then clearly you have a shove. I mean, it's barely profitable, but it's profitable. And from that point on, whatever else if he calls you with, like, let's say maybe he's a lot looser than this, and he even calls you with like other suited jacks, like jack 8, jack 7. We didn't even give him that. Like, maybe he calls jack 9. Okay, that's actually worse for us. But you get the point. I mean, the more you expand, the more this becomes a clear value bet. Now, in this hand, I mean, we can just take a look at what happened. So it's actually very close. I wasn't expecting that it would be so close, but you know, I jammed it in anyway, and he called with like 5-6 suited, meaning obviously, I mean, if he calls with 5-6, that he's pretty much calling me here with any pair, which at first point, I mean, it just looks ridiculous, which means like clearly we have a value bet. Okay,